Right.
It looks like
I
we
might
got
have.
all of the last one too.
Okay.
Even when you were gone, there's still us talking about Cardi B, and then when you come back on, we're still talking about Cardi B.
Yeah.
So
All
no,
right.
so everyone
Good.
calm down. We didn't lose any Cardi B discussion.
Good, good. Yeah, because
Oh, good.
Thank
as much
God.
The
we
world is
promised,
Goodness.
waiting for.
we promised we'd get political and Cardi B, and they were together this time.
The
We
world is
always have
waiting
a
for our Cardi B commentary.
yeah,
Our hot
yeah,
takes.
yeah. I don't get it. I don't think that's music. That's
Oh
my
no.
hot take. No, I haven't listened to
I
her much.
have you listened to the new
Jam.
song?
It's
No,
a
Wet
but I'm
ass
jam.
not in,
pussy.
but I'm not in love either. So
I've listened to the new
I
song
don't think
several
it's about
times.
love.
Yeah,
okay.
it's not. It's about wet ass pussy. It's not very deep. I mean, well, it
I
might
hate
be.
this is
Uh,
I think we all seen the footage, and I hate to say it, but I knew someday Britney Spears would be in my wheelhouse of chicks I could probably pick up at a bar, and it happened a little sooner.
That day is here.
That day
yeah.
is already. That day was a month ago. Holy cow! What a mess. Little, yeah. I mean, I remember seeing a video of her where she was doing a gig in Maui, or not Maui. She was doing a gig in the Big Island or whatever. She was doing Honolulu, and she had a
Yeah.
pilot delivering
Yeah.
Starbucks coffee from the mainland. So when your every whim of like getting Starbucks from the mainland when you're in Hawaii is taken care of, you probably could go crazy at some point. Could get a little chemically imbalanced there.
Sorry, I stepped away for a minute. Are we talking about Brittany?
Mm.
She's getting
Yeah.
fucked over.
Oh yeah. She's
Dude, there's
She's
fucking
getting completely
sad.
fucked over, man.
I don't know the whole story, but her old man's in charge of all her shit. And
Yeah, well,
oh,
I mean, they basically Baker acted her, years ago when she was losing her
yeah.
shit, and now she still cannot get control of her fucking music and shit. So it's ridiculous at this point. I mean,
I I read a headline of an article because I'm not reading articles anymore, but I read a headline of an article that said basically there's QAnon-like conspiracy theories about her well-being based
yeah.
on her Instagram pictures and stuff. People are like, I think the headline of it said was that Britney's eyelashes in an Instagram post said call 911.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you this.
That's
When
pretty
you see
funny.
that video of
Yeah.
Britney Spears, can you imagine the horror of having Hillary Clinton eat one of your babies while you're watching? You know.
Oh,
you
911.
you think it can't get any worse, and then Bill rips a leg off and joins in. Like, oh God, poor Britney. She had to witness that 2 or 3 times because she's from Louisiana, and everybody knows how fertile those chicks are. Or do they?
I don't want to bring it up a second time, but the South Park did this episode too.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, they really did.
Uh,
I made I think what could have been the perfect cocktail. I went down, got ice cubes out of the basement, poured just, I didn't do a John Taffer count. I just poured a reasonable amount of vodka because I sip a couple of beers for this generally. And I look forward to the vodka, I don't drink as much as I should, so I poured a nice drink and, nice melt off. And then I poured this sugar-free, where are you? Show yourself. It's like a kefir. It's orange. And then I poured it and
Kefir,
had it.
like yogurt?
No, it isn't. It's the same brand. I don't know.
That's
There's
probiotic yogurt.
but it's not like that. It's not like kefir, but it's
Are
along
you
the
having a
same
vodka
lines.
Well,
smoothie?
Andy, you called it kefir, and I asked you if it's yogurt, and you go, well, it's not like kefir. Then what is it like?
It's way over there, and I'd have to get the sun in my face to get it. But anyway. The point is I made a nice drink. the ice cubes, and I was very happy. And Watson is this beagle dog down below. He's a fucking cunt. I call the family the Louds because every aspect of them is loud. Their motorcycle, their conversation, their dog, their fucking way of being is just loud. It pours out, and I hear it. And with their dogs barking, and I set my drink down, and then I took my headphones off. I've been pretty smooth, except the sun thing's throwing me off. But I haven't, so I don't even have my tray or my doodads or anything. But I got it. Took my headphones off to get up and yell, "Shut the fuck up, Watson," because he will for a while if I do that, or some variation. But I'm a little out of his range. But I still, and then I kicked my drink over, and just all the ice cubes. And so I went in and just dumped some vodka in what was left of the mixer, and it's not nearly delicious. It kind of sucks, but goddamn that dog, man! It's like, when I add it all up and put it on a bill and present it to them, I think they're going to be surprised.
You're going to pull the Jerry Seinfeld to
Yeah.
Kramer, charge him for all the food he's eaten,
Yeah.
all your spilled drinks.
I love that Andy thinks the dog shuts up when he yells, "Shut up, Watson," and not that the scared neighbors let the dog in and go, "Get in here, hurry up!" The fucking crazy neighbor's screaming again.
When it's barking out there, it means he's on his own. He doesn't handle it well, and then he stands in front or a half a block down and carries on. Quite honestly, he's got mental problems.
For some reason,
wish the cops
Andy,
would show up and shoot him.
For some reason, I've got a fence like 3 feet away from my studio where I'm sitting, and the neighbors have dogs. And every neighbor that's ever lived there, it's been a high turnover rate since we've lived here.
Is it a rental?
Interesting.
No, people buy it.
Wow.
And then fucking I've thought about that too, Harrison. But
I wonder what it is.
Listen,
What
here's
could
the
it
thing though. Every one of them gets dogs.
What's
and
that
then
sign
just-
say?
They get dogs and just let them go feral in the fucking backyard. They
Yeah, that's
don't
no
ever
good.
let them be part of the family. One of them let German Shepherds have a whole litter of puppies that they never even interacted with, that were
Oh my
just
God,
feral
that's
dogs living next door to me. Right now, I think I've got 3 that just bark incessantly. They had a husky that was a most beautiful, gentle dog. She was over next to my yard talking to my dog, and we got home one day, and I was like, "How are you? Come here." And she came right over and then just laid all submissive at my feet, and I petted her, and I told her, "Come here, I know where you go. Let's go home." And I took her. She followed me over. I opened the gate, and she ran in. She was a sweet dog. The other dogs didn't get along with her. They got rid of that one. They got all the piece of shit dogs that just fucking bark and nobody pays attention to. I'm like, God damn it.
You know what you could do? It's a little in the gray area of law, but you could put a dog collar and affix a dog collar to the owner and take them out somewhere and then train them to be better people.
Yeah.
I have strict rules. When we first moved here, Jenny said I'm not allowed to have confrontations with any neighbors. We had one neighbor over there who accused I think I told you guys this once, maybe I don't remember who I tell shit to, that he accused my kids of throwing rocks at his dogs. I think it might have been when there was feral dogs. So my kids were probably throwing rocks at the fucking dogs. But he didn't talk to me about it or anything. He came out and threatened to shoot them.
Oh no.
So,
Your kids?
Yeah.
He's gonna shoot your kids.
He said, "If you're gonna throw rocks at my dogs,
Murder.
I'll fucking shoot you." And I was like, "Oh." So the kids came in and they're like, "Dad, fucking Scott just said he's gonna shoot us." And I go, "Under what context?" And they're like, he said, "I'm a diplomat. I like to hear all sides of the story because
it is good to know everything going in to understand what you're dealing with in the negotiation. Very
so
wise.
they told me that he accused them of throwing rocks at their dogs, and they weren't doing it, and they said that he was going to shoot them. So I, in the spirit of not having any sort of conflict, I strapped the biggest gun I had onto my belt in a visible fucking redneck fashion and knocked on his front door, and I asked him how prepared he was to talk about shooting people. That was my exact words. I said, how prepared are you to start talking about shooting people? And I realized right away, of course, he was not armed.
Yeah.
So I won that argument.
And then another family moved out of the place
he moved
next to
out.
Jed's.
It was me. I did it.
Isn't it great that like
that
back
one is me.
in the day, like the thing that got you, won all the arguments and and moved you along and protected you was the ability to grab a gun off the side of your hip and shoot it before the other guy did. Like that was, like
those are good
somebody
times.
just like
Simple,
boom, and fucking bullies got sorted out quick, huh?
But no, they just bought guns.
Yeah.
Well, but they had to be quick though. Like
you had to practice.
Dead.
Yeah, I think Billy the Kid was probably bullied in school.
Absolutely. And all you had to do was just be fucking a little bit smarter, or clever is the word I would use, to where you made it look like you were the good guy in this situation, and then the whole town would be like, "Yeah, we saw him shoot him, but that guy needed shooting." You know.
Yeah.
So
white hat.
Marshall.
I think it's a white hat that you need.
What a time.
Yeah, I wish I was good at quick draw. I mean, it takes me like 3 minutes to put an arrow in the thing, and my quiver's shaking, and I'm, I announce myself. I wouldn't be able to go crossbow to crossbow with somebody in the street. I like, hey man, hang on a second. I don't know where the fucking I forgot where the safety is on this shit.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Stanhope has pointed out several times that Stanhope's pointed out several times that the fact that I'm just a big dude is kind of the same type thing where I mistook it for a lot of years before I still don't have a lot of self-awareness, but I have a lot more than I used to. And I thought I was right all the time for a long time because people didn't argue with me. And then it finally dawned on me. I'm like, fuck, wait. People are just scared to argue with me even when I'm wrong as fuck. Yeah. And so being big has had its problems. And also, mostly it's positive, though. I don't have to deal with a lot of people's bullshit. Definitely nobody ever approaches me like Andy said. And it was like, hey, come here. I heard this was your political opinion. I'm going to argue with you about it in real life. I couldn't believe that happened to you, Andy.
Yeah, I guarantee if Chad was cutting down that sign, that guy with the cement truck wouldn't have given no thumb opinion.
No,
he would have
just he'd have been ambivalent.
He would have looked concerned, but he would have kept it to himself.
Well, if he was getting printing done, that guy would have shut his mouth. He wouldn't have fucking said anything.
Yeah.
Well, or if he saw Chad up on that fence, he would have thought Chad was putting the sign up.
So pull over to help him.
Yeah,
I need to borrow my
I'm a good
lineman
subversive operative. That's for certain, you guys. I am a good subversive operative.
Yeah, he honks and waves and like, I guess this guy's glad I'm taking the banner down.
Cutting it down, motherfucker, with my lineman dikes that I carry in my pocket.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna probably do battle with this group because I have a feeling that wasn't their only attempt at they're putting their opinion on the Glenwood exit. And
next time film it. At least take a picture of it or a little video of the banner and all this shit, I mean,
I took a picture of the banner.
Tell a good story, but
I was afraid to
instead of being ambiguous about the whole thing, Andy has increasingly given us more and more details of this crime. Yeah. So that it was 3 blocks from my house. It was the Glenwood exit.
It was 7:32 a.m. on the Glenwood exit.
Well, honestly, I would like to know the family that put it up there because I think if I knew where they were and they knew where I were, I think we could kind of cut some of the bullshit out and just go, mano a mano. I'm a sneaky fuck and I like the cover of darkness. Shit, man. Yeah. I wake up early for crime and, killing bees and criming. That's what you get up early for, or delivering shit.
Killing bees and criming.
Yeah, and I killed 2 nests of the yellow jackets hornets this morning, and there's the I call them the cement front yellow jackets now. They have a fucking cement wall. It's impenetrable. I've been down there like angles and spraying up under the thing and everything, but that cement I threw in there has protected them. Like I made them superpower bees.
you give them a fucking huge defense.
You built them a wall. It's like
they
wait to the bees. If the bees have a Trump, then he's getting reelected because they had a wall built and Mexico paid for it.
Yeah, it just didn't know what to do with the tail end of that cement, and I threw it in there, and now I've made them I can't get to them. It's like, it's
Well,
crazy.
what's worse than Erickson? What's worse than that is Andy took Venmo funds to help build the wall and spent them on drugs. He's Steve Bannon. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. They arrested me in a boat with a screen door for a bottom.
Yeah. Luckily, he had his Flex Seal.
Oh, it all comes together.
He used 30 cans of Flex Seal, man. He tried to flee to Mexico. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ouch.
this fucker. So yeah, I leaned down there. It's in a briar area, so I'm down there. I'm gonna burn them out, I think, is my thing.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna put up.
film that one.
I'm gonna put up a sign that says "Yellow lives don't matter." But I'm gonna yellow bees. I don't want no.
Yeah. They're all the bees are yellow. I don't think that's.
Hey, they built the railroad. No, not that. I didn't mean that. I'm talking about more.
The yellow bees.
Andy, this is probably irrelevant, and I apologize to everybody, but do your yellow jackets look like what Shaylee has there, or do they look more like bees?
They don't. Well, when they're
like
curled,
a striped bee.
No, they don't look like bees. You can tell the difference.
And their asses hang down when they fly,
have a
right?
Big ass like that.
That's more of a wasp. That's more of a wasp situation there.
That's what I understand as a wasp.
Right.
But
yellow jackets do look like bees. They look like regular bees.
Shaylee, what I've always known a yellow jacket, and I only found this out when I told you guys I was elk hunting and I got stung by a bunch of them, was a meat bee. We always called them meat bees. Were yellow jackets. So I'm just making sure I understand what's attacking.
Yeah,
because these fuckers are mean. What Shaylee's posting, I've been stung by those too.
I can almost, when I got stung, it's like you can just see them, and then you go, "Oh fuck!" and then you can see them; they're pissed off.
Yeah, those.
This
you
is
can
a
see
yellow
their
jacket right here.
That's what
this
and there's things I don't like things being invading my body. From a young age, I've not enjoyed that. But I just don't like. I don't like camping because my fucking mosquito pierces me, and I fucking feel dirty. And a yellow jacket, especially, they make your skin itch and you get a rash. Like, man, if they would have just left me alone, I would have been fine. You owe me a sweatsuit, bitch. I feel like if I get stung by something, I deserve something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But I'm gonna probably have to burn them out because of their cement door.
That you gave them.
Yeah, I gave them. Yeah, I thought that
it's going to be a literal firewall.
Yeah, and then when you go after them a few times, they're aware of it, So like they fucking
they know it's you coming. Here comes that asshole. It's trying to kill us.
This guy's not just pruning shit out of the way. He's gonna make another attempt on our village.
Please Venmo Andy some money for a pickaxe so he can fucking defeat the wall that he created for his enemy.
You know what's and I don't think Flex Seal will help in that situation, but what really sucks is when you go cheap on it, because I buy those cans one or two at a time, and sometimes you're doing a battle and you need like 8 of them, and I'm like, hang on, I just said now that everybody's really upset, I'm done. I'm gonna go walk off, and please don't bother me the rest of the day.
Are you spraying Flex Seal at yellow jackets?
On yellow jackets?
No, but this morning I was up at 4 and there's one out here and I know where that one is. I was kind of surprised they're back, but I went out there and I dug the hole even deeper. I just jammed the thing and then I blasted those assholes. Fuck them, they're gone.
What?
With the it's like gasoline. There's the bee spray, and then and then I went over and blasted.
That's good. I like it.
The neighbor's thing where he told me to just let him know, he doesn't want me coming over and but look, man, I'm up 4 in the morning.
Wait, your neighbor said what? He doesn't want you doing what?
He's coming over. He's kind of into whole.
Well, to be fair, he probably sees Andy with cement and fire going towards a hornet nest, and he goes, "Yeah, just keep that over there. Don't bring that over here."
Hey, man, stop stealing all my Gatorade, would you? What the fuck, dude?
I'm like Wilson on
Gatorade to put out the fire.
I'm like that guy in Home Improvement on the other side of the fence. Only I realized that Tim Allen's a piece of shit racist, so I'm sneaking over and fucking shit up. But no, I'm trying to get rid of the bees. So I don't, I don't want to, like, hey, neighbors or everybody, I'm going to go ahead and blast this product up under your shit. It may ruin your zucchini that you shouldn't have planted there anyway because the deer's eating it. But, it's like, I know better. I've lived here for 10 years and I'm going to go ahead and do what got to do.
You're on your property.
No, I went
on
over.
your
on their property.
No, it's on the other guy's property.
I killed bees on his property this morning, but I mean, but he asked me.
You're in a gray area there,
technically,
sir.
Aren't we all visitors on this planet? No one really owns anything.
Erickson, it's not a gray area because he's asked him not to come over on his property. It's no longer a gray area.
That's cut and dry.
But I mean, honestly, I have a history with that property that goes way. And in fact, I mean, he wouldn't even be in that property. He wouldn't have been able to buy that house if I hadn't fucking rigged the whole system, and he would have had to pay. Like, he should pay me $5,000 because I started getting involved with it. He had to lower the price of his house. So I mean, I kind of own a chunk of. I feel like an investor anyway.
Okay.
It's so funny that the guy's opinion of the confrontation was, no, I told him don't come over here, and Andy's interpretation is he owes me $5,000 because I made it. I smoothed the way for him to get that property. I'm going over there.
As a master of fucking mental gymnastics to justify things, I'd fucking worship Andy. I'm telling you guys right now. Andy is the best ever.
Also, the way he wants to deal with the bees is he put out a trap that catches like one every 15 minutes. And he's got fucking, he's got Chinatown full of yellow jackets buzzing out of that hole down there. And he wants to take, he wants to go trap one every, that ain't how you win a war. You don't win a war by taking one hostage every 20 minutes.
The war of attrition.
You take yeah, but that bait only lasts a week. So
Andy,
they're reproducing faster than that.
Yeah, and anyway,
this is the Oregon Hornet that's on the screen right now.
Yeah,
is that similar to the one?
Those are the ones living in my eaves, and I'm gonna get to those in a day or two when I lay up there. The end of the painting project, I have to lay on my belly and kind of hang over the edge, and hopefully with that banner that I got now, I'll be able to cover some of the window with that White Lives Matter or whatever bullshit. But that's it. And there's hornets up in 3 areas up in the final.
Set up your camera. We need to get you a little tiny phone tripod. Very simple.
Get him a GoPro to strap to his head.
That's true.
But I'm going to do it early in the morning when because I think hornets are, they're more active in the afternoon and they're more likely to go, what the fuck is this dude doing? But in the morning, they just wake up all chill going, oh shit, we're covered in oil.
Oh, that settles it, Erickson. If we get Andy a GoPro to strap on his head for extra Patreon content, I am becoming a member immediately.
You don't even need it.
Well, that'll be our next tier. We've been looking for a higher tier. We've already for the $5. We give a lot of content, but if we're gonna do that, then that's
I get a lot of amateur footage if I put GoPro on my head. Amateur with GoPro attempts bee killing or whatever.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
Just a trip to Lowe's,
Doesn't
whatever.
matter. In fact, you need to wear it so much that you forget you're wearing it. That's the key. So eventually it'll be like you just have it on.
Imagine we had footage of Andy in line for 2 hours for fucking COVID.
$500.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's fucking gold, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the key is for him to have it, but the real key is for him to turn it on.
Right. I'd be like
once he has it.
I'd be like an ethical cop, I'd be like, I'm getting ready to smash some Negro's head in. I better turn this off.
Something happened to the body cam footage, Sarge.
What's fucked up is somewhere there is body cam footage of a guy saying that to another guy before turning it off. That's what's fucked up.
We talked about this the other. We talked about this, the cartoon with the bulldog and the little bird. That's a cop. Oh, you might not want to see this footage, public.
Yeah.
This might be a little ugly.
I'm going to do what's best for all of us.
Take your itty bitty eyes off of this violence. You don't need to see this. This will just make you all upset.
Oh shit! Speaking of problematic old TV, Mitchell and I last night were watching an old Elvis movie called Speedway.
Oh
And
yeah.
Elvis is a race car driver, and the opening scene, he pulls up to like this trailer on site, and I think it's Charlotte where they're racing at the time. And he goes into his trailer, and inside is a guy and a girl like making out, and then he's like, "Hey, what's going on in here?" And then they kind of break it up, and then Elvis grabs the guy, who turns out to be Bill Bixby, by the way. He grabs him, and he's like, "Hey, get away from my girlfriend." And he's like, "Whoa, your girlfriend? I just thought she was some random chick," and everything. And then they have this whole conversation, and he, completely just rationalizes just attacking and sexually assaulting a woman. And the woman's like, "Yeah, he just came in here and started kissing me." And it was just, we were laughing so hard, like, holy
Nancy Sinatra.
Yeah. I didn't get that far into the movie. We only watched about the first 10 minutes.
Good thing he didn't get mad, right?
It was,
yeah. I was driving.
Oh, exactly right.
Got
off easy, lady.
We were driving home the other day. Oh shit! I just fucking kicked my fucking computer. All
just
right.
Remember, James,
don't kick your drink over.
I was driving the other day, and I was just flipping through. When I listen to Sirius Radio, I just flip through each channel, fucking, until I find a song. And I hit the 50s channel is where I start because it's low. And there was a song called "That's the Way Boys Are," and it was just a girl singing about
how boys are.
When my boyfriend looks at other girls, I just ignore it, and because that's the way boys are. And when he runs around and hooks up with other girls, and then he comes back to me, because I know he wants to get back with me, I just ignore what he did because that's the way boys are. I was like, holy shit, man.
At the end of the race, not only was this woman not really upset about being violently sexually assaulted, that when Elvis won the race, she was Miss Carolina Speedway or whatever. That was why she was even there. So she had her sash on. And she got to kiss the winner of the race. So she kissed Elvis. And then at the end of the kiss, she looked into the camera and she said, "In case any of you photography boys didn't get that first one." And then she fucking planted another one on him. So, she was into it. She loved, how women are. They all want it. They all want it. They want it.
Yeah, Bill Bixby is the type of guy that, he's a drifter coming in towns and stuff. You don't want to turn him down. You get pissed off, who knows what'll happen. Rips his clothes all up.
This is actually great, because now that I'm remembering it even more, after he throws Bill Bixby out of the trailer and he's talking to the girl and she's explaining, she's like, "Well, he just started kissing me and blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Yeah, well, that's my buddy, and we came up together, and we share everything." That's what he said. He goes, "We share everything." I swear to God, that was the justification. And she's like, "Well, if you share everything, there's not really, I guess, nothing I can do to complain about that." Steve Grayson, that was his name.
The other, I just remembered there was another song too. We was like on the 50s channel, so it was back. It was
that other song was by Leslie Gore, by the way.
That was a real song, and that was what it was. The other one that I forgot all about until Erickson just told this story was called "Seven Little Girls Sitting in the Back Seat," and the first lyric said, "7 little girls sitting in the back seat, hugging and a kissing with Fred." I said, "Why don't one of you come up and sit beside me?" And this is what the 7 girls said.
Oh my God!
All together
Paul
now,
Evans.
1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your driving. Keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun sitting in the back seat, kissing and a hugging with Fred. And the whole song. It's just him trying to hook up with one of fucking Fred's chicks, and I couldn't believe it.
One of Fred's 7 chicks.
Fred,
they're also like, "Hey, you're the Uber driver. Turn around and fucking drive this thing, sucker."
Eyes on the road.
I thought it was hilarious, and Jenny pointed out to me that he was seeing 7 little girls, and I'm like, yeah, that's an odd choice of words. Like
anybody thinking that Charlie Manson had no business in the music industry? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
He was so close, and his whole fucking MO was 7 little girls, man.
Yeah.
He just didn't,
Missed
he
it
just
by
didn't know
that much.
Yeah, you gotta get the deal and then do the pedophile shit.
That song peaked at number 3, January 7th, 1960.
Yeah, how would you like to be raised in
shitting me?
You know, there's so many pedophiles sounding like Teen Angel or here, there's just a bunch of them. That are like, yeah.
I mean, that shit went all the way up until we were coming up. Because remember, Winger had fucking 17. That was his one big hit.
Well, to think about it,
was that Skid
Winger.
Row?
No, that's Winger.
But here's the thing: is that like even Dr. Hook had that song? She's only 16. But then if you listen to it, there's the lyric. I was a mere boy of fucking 16 or 15. I've aged a year. It's the same age. So I mean, that's a lot of those songs were geared. We were listening to them as teenagers, and they were designed for us to listen to as teenagers.
Right. Exactly.
Now there was a song.
It's weird that there's a 35-year-old guy singing it, but he's singing it about teenagers.
There was a song in the 80s named from a guy called Benny Cardone. That's how he sang. But he sang that song. Fuck! I just mistyped it in the fucking thing. Benny Mardones. That's why, because I didn't say it right.
Yeah.
I remember that guy.
And he had a song about fucking hooking up with a fucking underage girl. And he had a video where he was clearly a 40-year-old man fucking hooking up with a fucking underage girl. Like, it was a video.
Oops. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, I mean, Lyle Lovett did that song about having sex with penguins, or at least being attracted to penguins.
What?
Talking about?
Penguin. He has that song. I love.
Andy, you can always take this in a weird way, dude. A weird direction every time. You could have given me 1,000 guesses of what Andy was going to say, and Lyle Lovett has a song about fucking a penguin. Wouldn't have been any of my.
Never would have come up.
Erickson, I only tell stories on this podcast to inspire Andy to tell a fucking weirder story.
I get it.
I love it.
I get it.
I would never have made love to a ghost, but other people in the room felt differently.
Yeah. I understand.
Ow.
Ghost was working through you.
Yeah.
It's clear.
I still don't know which way to set this up for the next evening.
That's all right now. It's fine because in about 10 minutes that sun's going to drop down below those trees and it's going to be okay. So right there is perfect. Don't move it.
It's a bunch of shit. Yep. Yeah.
Son of a
fucking,
bitch.
the goddamn COVID. It's not, shit. Yeah, that guy, the gaslit dude was going on about the governor, who I just got $500 from, so I didn't feel like, going on and on about how she sucked or whatever. And he was talking about basically like a bunch of people who didn't deserve that money. And I was like, hey, I'm one of them people who didn't deserve that money. You. And so the next day, the day after I got my money, there was still they gave out money until banks closed that day, and then the next day droves of people I was going to go deposit some money in my bank, and there was a line around it. Like, it was incredible. It was like what I faced was nothing compared to what was going on the next day. Like 5 or 6 banks I saw were doing that, and then I got home and I heard they'd already given out the 35 million, I think it was, and it was over. And then I kind of wanted to get my car.
They had 40 million earmarked to give away, and it was until it was gone.
It's crazy that they decided to do it by who first come first.
Yeah,
served.
that was the weird thing about it, and that was where
insane.
I have criticism with the governor or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, I got $500, went and got some weed. Guy didn't have to send me money for a couple weeks. You can take a break. Stockpile guy, you're gonna go to a party maybe, stockpile with shit you might need for that. But so I got that money, and then but I mean the next day I saw old people sitting in chairs, and it was like kind of fucking disheartening when I got home and heard that the money was gone. So all those people sitting there had hope
Yeah.
to get money, and I got it just because I was just randomly there in the soup line, and then some Russian guy wedges in. I let that go, But I would have gladly, split that Russian's noggin and given the money to one of them old ladies or something. But I'd already spent most of mine. I can't, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Too late.
yeah, let me
What do
just turn my pockets out so you see they're empty. I got 500 yesterday. Woo! I got
goes
a
quick. It
bill.
goes quick.
Here's the fucking. This was a mind blow. As because I was so flush with money for a few hours. As I had
hours.
I ripped a $5 bill trying to spend it, and then I swear to God, I left that $5 bill in my car seat, and then today I went and got in my car, and there was a $5 bill that was together. I'm like, fuck, man, no way. I know there was no magician here.
It was the ghost.
The ghost.
Maybe it was
The
the
sea
ghost.
captain, the one-legged
I
sea
love-
captain.
Definitely the
I
ghost.
love
Fuck
that.
your old lady.
I love that one day you had so much money you didn't care that you tore a $5 bill in half, and the next day you're like, I gotta go find those two pieces of that $5 bill.
No,
I
because
learned that he was so anxious to spend $5, he ripped the bill.
it was something like that, but I couldn't find it, and it was like I just needed to find it for a semblance of like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I did it, like the last pair of pants, last pocket I went through, I found it, and I was like, okay, because that's like, for next I'm gonna find pigeons or whatever, like a length of rope, and then I'll grab it, and it'll just keep, shit like
You're gonna
Yeah.
find out you're accidentally a magician.
Yeah, I mean, it solved my problem because I was like, I brought tape down to the car, and I was like, because I knew that $5 bill was there, and then I just had the tape, and then like it just was on my, what do you do? It's eventually the Scotch tape is gone. I don't know what I did with it. It just isn't there anymore. But the $5 bill I found a while ago, so it's over. The fear that I was, had a Houdini in my car, a ghost assembling money, against my wishes.
And
Not against my wishes, but without asking.
We've all seen how well you keep track of your stuff. I'm willing to bet that you found a different $5 bill that
whose
you
pants
lost
was
in
looking at?
your car. Yeah.
He didn't say it was his
This
pants.
is
He said
not
it was
the
pair of
ripped
pants
one
he
that you
looked in.
found.
Yeah, it was suspended over my house. I had to float up with a Luft balloon. Get up there. 99 of them to be exact.
Yeah, I get you, Nina.
I got it.
We're there with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what that song's about? Losing balloons.
A whole bunch of them. It seems like.
And
I think it was
but
about
balloons.
domestic violence.
Is it?
Not sure.
No, I think you're thinking of the.
Oh yeah, my name is Luca.
My name
yeah,
is
that's
Luca
the
song.
one.
See,
They
this
were
is another
both
time
shitty.
you were wrong about something that I
It
knew
is.
what you were wrong about
Yeah.
before you.
We watched all the same
Luca's
fucking
basically
night
that dog.
tracks, and
Yeah. Luca's
had
that dog
drew the
Watson.
same wrong assumptions.
Yeah, Night Tracks was the first time I ever was like kind of in control of what was going on around me. It's like shit, yeah, it's me and Madonna or whoever,
Yeah. Oh
like,
man,
I found that I could masturbate to the video format pretty easily.
I did not masturbate to night tracks, but I did have my little one speaker cassette player that I could put blank cassettes or other shitty cassettes once you learn how to tape over the top of them and turn them into recordables.
Yeah.
And then you would just lean it against the TV speaker and hit record and be real
man.
quiet while Night Tracks was on.
Yeah.
That was the way.
I don't know.
Yeah, I recorded off the radio a bunch of times.
Oh yeah.
I used to use my ghetto blaster that I got from my friend Steve, my rich buddy,
Yeah.
things, and I would record Saturday Night Live.
Lucky.
I know.
Yeah.
I would record.
Wait. Let's back that up because that got a little bit covered up there. You would use it to record Saturday Night Live, just the
Yeah, I would
audio?
record- yeah, just the audio, like the Eddie Murphy stuff. I even record.
You're beautiful, man.
I would record the Joe Piscopo stuff, but I would listen to it again and go, I don't know.
Doesn't hold
Yeah.
up.
It really doesn't.
It's kind of visual too, so
Yeah. It
Well,
turns out
it seems
David
like a lot
Letterman,
of a
David
lot of
Letterman
sketch comedy
impressions
turns
aren't.
out to be a lot of sketch comedy turns out to be visual.
he was good in that
It
one
turns
movie.
out.
Joe Piscopo was good in that one movie.
He was great in Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah, that was it.
That was supposed to change his life.
Yeah.
Well, it did, but not
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
not
he
the
was
right
great
way.
in it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what? The extra muscle, I don't know if it made him happy, but it sure did make him look buff in that magazine shoot. And, why ain't he speaking at the Republican? It's like they got to get Tim out. Tim Allen.
I'm surprised they don't have Tim Allen.
Yeah, they got celebrities. They just
James Woods.
James Woods,
James
great.
Woods.
He's a great spokesman for
He brings
hateful
heat
people.
on Twitter, boy. He brings the heat.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
like,
can you imagine him just talking though?
Yeah, it's like they're not bringing their A game when it comes to hateful Republican celebrities, and that's
Right.
what John Voight should have a whole spiel. It's like,
John Voight,
Yeah.
he's fucking lost his mind.
yeah, he's basically right now he would join the Mountain Men and rape fucking Ned Beatty. That's where he's lost his way so completely. He would go, yeah, squeal like a piggy, and Ned would be going, what? Nee! Wee! Best love scene
I forgot he
ever.
was in that.
Yeah, John Voight. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a stud.
Yeah.
He was with him. He was with Ned Beatty when he
Yeah.
he goes,
Yeah.
"You got
Right.
real."
He was the other
And
guy.
I don't know. I've never heard a podcast or a story on this, but I want to know about that movie. What was it called?
Deliverance.
Deliverance is that scene with Ned Beatty and John Voight and the Mountain Men, and the Mountain Men look so authentic. You'd have to think those guys
were
must
real.
have fallen from an improv group or West Virginia.
Yeah, how would they cast?
And
The
dialogue-
groundlings.
and then what the dialogue that one guy said, and I was like, did he had to improv that? He goes, "You ever had your balls cut off, you fucking ape?" Like that's like you can't write. That's not written
You don't
word.
think that's writable?
It was the 70s.
Yeah.
You could write a lot of stuff.
And then he goes, "You got a real pretty mouth on you, boy. Why don't you get down and pray for me?" It's like I can see it kind of like a writer who's real disturbed, drinking a lot, and getting ready to kill himself writing those words. But I also see a hillbilly who's just kind of going, "Okay, you're going to rape this guy and say some foreplay stuff."
You
And
think
yeah.
the actors were improving hillbillies?
I feel like that guy was such a good actor. Where's the rest of that guy's work? Because that guy was such a good actor in that scene. I don't know where. I mean, I'm willing to be blown away and go, he's actually a really good character actor, and that was a written word. But he
That's
said
Joe
some-
Pesci, dude.
Yeah. Turns out it's
they
yeah, I was
actually
gonna say,
CGI'd
turns out
his
it's Kevin
teeth out.
Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton in one of his early roles. You ever
Yeah.
had your balls cut off, you fucking ape? Had to be an improv line, and they had to go, "Wait, what'd you say?" No, that works. The other one was like, "Hey, how about if I cut off your balls, you rough camper?" No,
You rough camper.
you think you're gonna rap down my
that's
river?
probably what
And
it
that
was.
kid,
Rough
that kid,
camper.
there's Squint right there. There's
Yeah.
hey Squint.
Yeah.
That guy rode down a fucking hallway and threw some firecrackers. That's when I was with Stanhope and we're somewhere near Cincinnati, but we decided to tour the hills of Kentucky, and we're just looking for that sort of thing. We're looking for that. No, we didn't know.
We're looking for the sort of thing that happened when hillbillies tried to anally rape you.
No, we had a day off, but we were looking for that key. We thought,
Yeah.
let's just
We
go
want
up
to see
there.
some authentics.
And
You
we
wanted to have somebody
you
to
know,
have a banjo duel with.
right, exactly. But there was no river going through Antry, boy. But there was also nobody. There wasn't a place where we could meet people or whatever. There was no bars open or whatever, and a lot of Southern flags or whatever. We got to this one place, and there were like cars parked at all angles, and you could. I think it used to be a gas station, but it had been converted to a mini mart in title only. It said mini mart, but there was like a bunch of people and like 30 cars parked there, trucks, all manner of shitty vehicle. And me and Doug walked in there, and I was gonna take pictures, and we were there for some laughs. Quite honestly, we were there to make fun of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we got there was no fun. There's no fun, and we both got as serious as both of us get, and we didn't goof, and we bought our warm RC colas that were in the, and we got in our vehicle, and I didn't snap one picture, but there were people with the blue rooted gums. And the fucking town was called. It was called Salt Gum, Kentucky. That was the town. I don't know about town, but that mini mart was in the Salt Gum jurisdiction. Salt Gum, Kentucky, and there was nothing there but inbreds all sitting around askew, waiting for some lunch that was probably not forthcoming. and
Probably soup.
Yeah, it was like we got in and out, and then we were like, I think we were both breathed a sigh of relief when we crossed over into something that wasn't Kentucky, because that was some fucked up shit. But I assume they have pride, and they got,
Well, once you cross the border over into Rotted Tooth,
Kentucky, And why would salt gum? Like salt gum, man, that ain't it. Sweet gum, I'll sit down and have a drink.
Shaley.
I'll sit here, and then when I'm done, I'll put it up under my chair.
The Sweet Gum Winery, Kentucky.
Sweet Gum Winery. They never kick you out for getting in early.
Hell no. Bring your own banjo, though. It's
never closed.
Shaley, I think it would be remiss if we didn't mention the picture behind you. Really shows the fucking versatility, the range that Robin Williams had.
I knew you were going to say that. It looks like Robin Williams.
I've been waiting forever to say that, Erickson.
It looks like Robin Williams has been dipped in acid real quick. Just real quick. Like it just took off the first layer and left the rest.
He's fresh out of a facial scrub.
How great would Robin Williams been as a mountain man? Oh, I bet you could pray some. Oh, how's my dick look? Does it look like a microphone? I'll bet you got some material. Oh,
Erickson, I love that you knew I was going to say that, you fucking asshole.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, holy shit, he's got Robin Williams.
That's it.
Like he's got his mouth and his nose,
Yeah,
that's the guy, huh? That's the delivery.
Billy Redden, I think his name is. But
did he ever put any banjo music?
Was he actually an actor?
I don't know. He's dead now. He died at 80. But this is from his Instagram or something.
Yeah.
Wow. He had Instagram. That's fucked up, man.
Like my photos, please.
Life is so sad.
What was great about that scene, especially in that movie and how it played out, was
the banjo scene.
Yeah, well, it was that. What was the guy's name? Was it? I want to say Brian Cox, but that's a different actor.
Ernie. You talking about the guy who played guitar?
Not Ernie Hudson. Yes, yes, he was.
Racist motherfucker.
He was
Ernie
a Beverly Hills Cop, I think he was.
He was the police chief.
Yes, but he was all about.
Hell no.
He was all about the adventure, like
Ronnie Cox.
Ronnie Cox. He was all about the adventure, and when he saw the kid, he was like, "Oh, isn't that great?" And he played the little lick, and then the kid played it back, and he played it back again, and he was just having the time of his life. And I believe he was the first one to have his body completely mangled and bent and broken and be murdered. If he wasn't, he was hurt bad. I remember
he broke his leg.
Fucked him
Wasn't
up
he the one who broke I think he broke his leg, and they were rafting him down.
They were trying to save him.
Died overnight.
I listened to the audio. I listened to the audio book a few years back, several years back, and it's darker than the movie.
Really? Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a book.
There's the book. Yeah.
Yeah. Burt Reynolds was great. He was at the top of his game there. He just come off the Florida State football field, peeled off his shirt, and fucking was a fucking that was a fucking
wearing a wetsuit, shooting a bow. Can't go wrong.
It didn't take him 3 minutes to load up his bolts.
No.
He fucking put one in that fucking guy.
But now I don't know, like with Christianity having shifted, would they be upset with the people shooting the hillbillies? Going, wait, the hillbillies are the Christians. What you're doing is anti-Christian. They're trying to penetrate your asshole to teach you about faith.
What are you, a homophobe?
I know, yeah. Those mountain men were good Christians, and they didn't treat homosexuality as it wasn't homosexuality. They were just breeding some guys who happened to be lost.
Andy, that banjo character, that could have been a part for you, because I was just reading this kid couldn't actually play. They had a man, and he sat on the man's lap, and they put his arms around the kid, and the guy played the banjo.
What?
Andy, that part was yours.
What?
That
So
part
it
was
was like-
yours.
So
And you know who the cook? You know who that was? That was Charlie Sheen. Wrapped him up and taught him how to play banjo.
It was Sean Rouse standing behind him with his
That's a good one.
arms through
Yeah.
and playing the banjo.
That's
would've
Corey That's Corey Saltgum right there in his first role.
It would have been
Charlie
great
Sheen.
if it would have turned into one of those shitty improv scenes where it's like you stand behind the guy and it's like, oh, here. Oh, you put your arm back. Oh, I'm brushing my teeth. And then the guy puts toothpaste on your face.
Whose line is it
And
anyway?
hilarious, man.
That would have changed his life if he would have taught him how to brush his teeth, huh?
Yeah, well, it would have been a short skit.
Circles, little circles, man. I don't need none of that shit. I'm curious as to know, because that kid, like there were a lot of ugly kids when in Kindergarten Cop was filmed in Astoria, Oregon, and they went up there and they brought in some talented actor kids, but a lot of them were just ugly, or typical Astoria white trash children, and it's like sometimes that works. And who was that one actor who was just happened to be fucking available anyway, but how would it be like if you're like we've all seen them like ugly ginger kids they use in commercials or whatever, and they don't grow up handsome or whatever, but they're just at that moment they're perfectly ugly and marketable.
Marketable. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and sometimes they, I don't know if any of them like that Deliverance kid. It would be great if he turned it into a villain career. He had, it's like that's an ugly kid who's going to get bullied in school, but it's like he could kill it as a villain his whole life.
Well, he was in another movie in 1984.
So he sparse roles.
He spent his life being disappointed that he was typecast.
Let me guess, he smoked all them Deliverance residual checks.
Well, the 72 was Deliverance, then the next one was 84, a film called Blast Fighter, and then the next one was 2003, Big Fish, which was that was a pretty big movie.
Oh yeah, I like that movie.
And then 2004, he got another role after that in Blue Collar TV.
I would love to ask him
Blue Collar TV.
Did you keep up with the acting union? Because I let it slide after the Man Show because I didn't get any parts, but he was like 72 to 84, paying his dues and shit.
Hanging in there.
Yeah. Like he couldn't have got typecast as a kid because he was, I don't know.
He worked at Walmart, so.
Did he?
And
yeah, that's where he was working when he died.
Steve Martin was getting all the good banjo parts.
Oh my God! Can you imagine going into Walmart and you're like, God damn it, that guy looks familiar. I can't quite place it. The whole time you're at Walmart and you're like, God damn it, no, you can't. No, this is a kid from Deliverance. It's a kid from Deliverance.
And Andy gets a guitar and learns that tune just to show up at Walmart and go.
What I like is you see that guy working at Walmart and you're like, I swear to God, that's the guy from Deliverance. And your buddy is like, everybody who works at Walmart looks like they're the guy from Deliverance.
Which guy?
There's a guy. Remember when somebody took a picture of?
They all look like that, bro.
The one of the cast of Cosby, a dude who was married to an older Cosby chick on the show, is working at Trader Joe's, and somebody snapped a picture of him and like oh my God, I can't believe how far this guy's fallen. There's a guy at my Trader Joe's who looks like White Cotton. And I want to get a picture of him.
Is it Michael McDonald?
Is it? I was gonna say, is it Bob Seger? I think, Shaylee, I think you get the points on that one. I think it's Michael McDonald.
Wow.
It is Michael McDonald. I actually had to Google that to figure out because I also thought it was Bob Seger Erickson. Yeah. So fuck you.
Good.
All
right, now you're back.
Parallel thought.
Now you're guessing my wrong answer.
Yeah.
I know that Bob Seger is. I heard. Well, is this a well-known story? But like Bob Seger sending somebody to get all the cocaine in town.
I don't know.
He's like one of those last of that era of rockers. It's still fucking going strong, or at least going.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
He didn't
Puts
play
on a
church?
good show. I saw him in
That's
the 80s,
great.
and the fucking show was incredible. He crushed it. He
Yeah.
sounds
One of my
exactly like
bands.
he sounds exactly like you want him to sound when he sings. Like there's no auto tune on his voice or any fucking around. I mean, he can belt it out, and it was so fucking cool.
Yeah. Nobody's done more to, I mean, he's written so many songs that make you think about strippers.
And Chevy trucks.
Yeah, it's like every
My-
song,
my-
you
My
put
whole
you
deal.
like the Bob Seger mood is you're in a Chevy truck somewhere in the Midwest and you're going to a strip club and you got enough booze and you're having a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
My whole deal is to put it in my headphones and put it in for a playlist when I ride my motorcycle.
Yeah.
Bob Seger's
Oh, fuck
good
yeah.
motorcycle riding music, man. That's a
Yeah,
mood
listen.
right there.
Hollywood Nights, that is a
Yeah,
fucking killer song, dude. That song gets
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, the difference between that guy and White
Fire
Cotton,
Lake.
people
That's
try to
my
Fire
make fun
Lake,
of that
dude.
guy working at White Cotton. They were like, man, good gig, White Cotton. How'd you get the job?
Yeah.
Man, congratulations on becoming a frontline worker.
Oh my God,
White
Bob
Cotton.
Seger is Norm Wilkerson.
Yeah, he turned into Norm Wilkerson.
Oh my God.
He's got good teeth though.
I just want to make some stew and meet some strippers and just have some.
Yeah, I
steak.
got twins now, so I
He
can't
looks
get out
like
there.
Stephen King.
The Hollywood Nights.
Wait a
Little
minute,
bit,
Stephen
little
King
bit.
looks like Andy. Grow
Yeah.
a beard, Andy. Let's see.
Well, Stephen, I look like Stephen King if he didn't have enough money for all that coke. Like if he wasn't a very good writer, like if he just, if he just wrote the occasional complaint letter to the local paper, and
I was gonna say,
electrical company, I look like Stephen King.
Wait, so you look like Stephen King, who only wrote letters to the editor.
Yeah, I can't get content.
The
I
frustrated
can't niche.
fruit of Stephen King.
I can't afford that level of gaunt.
Uh,
I want to sync my features, but I just can't afford it.
uh,
Oh, fuck you guys.
I'm being ravaged by skeeters out here.
We'll wrap it up in a minute.
You know what it is?
It's
Is I
better,
shouldn't have sprayed those bats out of here.
Yeah,
I
the
got
bats you
bats,
needed.
and
Those
now
are the ones you
fucked
should
up
have.
your own
Eat pounds
ecosystem,
of those
man.
mosquitoes.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
figure out how to bring the bats back.
I got to get some. Well, I got mushrooms. I just eat mushrooms, and they'll
I-
show up.
I'm not
I,
sure.
I will say again, I really like your place, Andy. Your place looks really fucking nice back there, man. That's a fucking cool place to.
This is
be.
this little bubble here. Yeah, there.
I
That's
see
my
how you.
face.
I
right
see
there.
how you retain
Yeah.
your sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm always battling shit out here, so you can imagine. Didn't have this.
Andy versus his yard.
Yeah,
The new reality TV show.
I'm beating those meat bees out of here.
Beating the meat bees.
Even. All right. All right. There he is. There. He, look at see the nose on. I mean, but I think
He's a,
you know.
he's a handsome man.
I like you know.
Like
Here's the
features.
thing.
It's like looking into a mirror and.
I want to test Shaylee's. Shaylee is the master of coming up with background images.
Yeah.
I do audio training for audio engineering with a guy named Don Barnes, Baarns. And there are times while I'm watching videos from this guy where I swear I'm talking to Andy Andrist. And this, so let's see if Shaylee can pull up Don Barnes.
Wow.
from
How do you
fucking
spell his last name?
2 A's.
Baarns.
That's a fucking
Visually or voice.
Look up also with him, you know, like any sort of like Studio One or audio engineering, any sort
You
of tag like that, and you'll pull him up. He
You
looks
should
just
pull
like
up a
Andy.
picture.
Not
You should pull up a
shitty.
picture of Andy and put it up there and
Yeah,
be like,
no,
"Hey, Jesus Christ, it looks just
He
like
looks just like him.
him."
I'm just curious if it comes up. There's that all right. That's not a real accurate one, but that's a good representation.
That's him, Don
Yeah.
Don
Yeah.
Barnes Audio.
He
Yeah.
looks like he's trying to sell you a timeshare.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that could.
Good
I want
salesman.
I want you guys to buy the timeshares. I just don't feel like this is the proper time to make a pitch.
Turns out this whole podcast was a pyramid scheme. Andy's been
Yeah,
selling
that's
us. been doing the fucking long play on us for a while.
Yeah.
He's trying to get us all to be Jehovah's Witnesses. Turns out,
we have been the whole time.
I was talking to Jenny the other day, and I told her, remember we went to Stanhope's New Year's Eve show at the Plaza. We went there on a timeshare.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
That's how we got to stay there. We saw several, like they would present the people who bought the timeshare, like to try to use them as a sales technique. They would be like, they just bought the timeshare. I told Jenny, how much of those motherfuckers kicking themselves in the ass right now? You bought a timeshare in January. Now nobody can go anywhere at all. Those motherfuckers are kicking
They run those
ads.
They run those ads at the same time as the roundup if you got lymphoma or you've been molested by the scouts. They run those. If you've been cheated by a timeshare, we can help you.
Yeah.
I get the for some reason, Andy, and it might be because Erickson tags me in Issues with Andy post on Facebook, but for some reason I get posts of 3 fingers that saying, "Have you been molested by the Boy Scouts?" All this. I'm like, that's an inappropriate picture.
Yeah, it really is because there's kids who've gotten it worse or lesser. You got just 3 fingers. I took the guy's whole ham sandwich in my asshole.
3 fingers. That might be a nice stiff scotch, but that's nothing for up in your asshole.
That's the measurement. If you got 3 fingers, that's 100 G. That's just you don't want to put up the other symbols. If you're in the $1 million club, imagine there's a set of balls in your throat involved in the picture.
Oh fuck!
All right.
Let's fucking wrap a bow on this motherfucker.
Oh my god, this was fun, guys. I'm not just saying.
Even though I kicked over the best drink I made and started.
Look, there's a couple of things we got to do for you, buddy. First of all, we got to get some mixers for you. I don't know what you're mixing with, but just get some soda water or some.
Well, this
was they deliver that shit now. You don't even have to go out for it.
I can get it. It's just
you're already out there.
Just to go out.
Grab, or even just grab a fucking 6-pack of Sprite or something like that.
Hey,
cranberry juice. You could do a cranberry and fucking Sprite. And
here's where I might go out for mixers. Is Patrick invited me to go stay at his. He's got a cabin in.
He's up in Montana. Our buddy Pat.
Messaged me
Pat,
too. What a beautiful
you don't have to give any last
man.
names. He didn't invite Shaylee, so don't say anything more about it. Shaylee doesn't know him.
I'm not available. I'm busy.
But I looked at it. It's like I don't know. It's a substantial drive, but not if you get some uppers. It's like 10. I could be there in a day and a half. And,
it would be funny if we all, if he invited
him
us
up
all.
on this?
But we all thought we were like the only ones going, and we didn't want to tell the other guys we were going. Like, all right, don't tell anybody. Yeah, I'm fucking coming up, and then we have a wacky hijinks situation where we all.
I think it'd be funny if we coordinated and all just fucking showed up. And he's like, I didn't think any of these antisocial motherfuckers were gonna show up here.
No, but I'm thinking about like like after like Labor Day, it's just do it for a couple days, a week. Just fucking drive over there because I could get away with it.
Well, I think there's a time frame.
Yeah, I think he's coming back in the middle of September, so you might want to check.
Okay,
Pat's a good dude. He's a guy we met at the Plaza. And speaking of having,
he may or may not have had something to do with Chad having something for me before the taping.
He may not. He may or may not be.
Don't be saying things that you don't need to say.
My producer credit.
He may look. He may have. Listen, you want to have a good connection to the podcast. Pat may or may not have a very close relative who may or may not be the person who was going to have to fly Andy to Bolivia.
I know what you're talking about now.
We're getting deep. We're getting deep now.
Yeah.
That was right before he threw up into the muffin.
That's right. Those guys are both great. They're brothers, and we like.
But I mean, I didn't know he was leaving that soon. But the idea of bugging out of here and just going to Montana is like that. Not that far.
Dude. Yeah, I get it.
And then just go out and grab a bear by the scruff and go, come on, man. Come on, Galanos.
Andy, I was just speaking of that. I was just going through my phone and looking at old videos, like just like clearing shit out. And I have a video. I'll put it up. I have the video of you and I in wherever we were in Colorado, Aspen. We were in Aspen, and we found a bear like running down the street, and Andy and I chased it. We were drunk as shit. And for some reason, we thought when you see a bear, the idea is you should definitely chase after it. But it works. The idea of, you have to kind of like have dominance over the bear.
Dominance,
it accidentally worked because we ran at the thing and it was like, what the fuck? And you see it like, look at us. And it's like, fuck this. And it just takes off running across the park. Andy and I are running after it. Stupid as fuck.
Well, and then the next day I was up early and there was a big pile of shit in the middle of the sidewalk and people walking their tiny dogs. And I was like, excuse me, yo.
Pick up your mess, please.
But I think we scared it and it ran down there and shot out a big pile of grass. Poor bear, just trying to get a snack.
The two of you scared the shit out of a bear?
Wow.
It was a pussy bear. It was a little bear.
Yeah, we could have kicked its ass. It was.
What you're supposed to do, Erickson and Andy, is make yourself appear bigger, but don't run at it.
Well, no, I think that we made an even more aggressive move.
What's more badass than an
We tried to tell it we were starting a podcast, but it wouldn't listen, so we can't really. We were like, okay.
We were asking it to be a guest on a podcast, and it's like, fuck this.
No wonder it ran.
Yeah. Usually we have more people at our shows, we were saying, as it was running off.
Well, it's a Tuesday night. What do you expect?
That's actually a good. That's a good tip, actually. If you see a bear in the wild, ask it to be on your podcast, and it'll leave you alone.
Right. Yeah. Chris D'Elia? I'm in his crew, bro.
Poor Chris D'Elia. Brian Callen just got dropped by his agency today.
Really?
So sad day for all.
Boy, it just seems like yesterday he was spreading COVID to willing participants in San Antonio. And now he's probably not going to be able to have
good
that.
Things happen to good people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they say comedy's dying, it's still there. Come on.
You just got to know which rock to look under.
Yeah. Bump a mic.
Look under this rock. Get some comedy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, go get that. Go get the Doug Stanhope Audible book. No Encore for the Donkey. That'll do you. That'll do you good. Read Sam Talent's Running the Light. That'll all.
I got those on my both of those. Excellent. Yeah, I get what Doug was saying about talents. It's you have to reread certain things because it's just so it's like there's no throwaways.
He writes the way like Jack Kerouac wishes he would have written. Like Kerouac tried to write like that, but basically Kerouac was just typing a lot. So like you could find those things in there if you read 9,000 pages of fucking A Fever Dream. But
he was pretty dependent on his friend doing interesting shit.
Yeah, exactly right.
His sidekick wasn't cool. He wouldn't have had shit. He'd have just been like, I traveled cross country, stopped at Denny's. Oh, well.
Yeah, that's why I like Jack Kerouac so much. I get it. You're the Neil Cassidy, dude.
Neil Cassidy, that's him.
Oh, I'll drive the bus. I love Kerouac. Yeah. But you gotta spend a lot of time reading it. So, all right, this has come to what we call a soft close. In the business we call this.
I was going to say grinding halt, but go ahead.
No,
it got weird. There's a bunch
could be mistaken for each other. They could be mistaken.
You drop your pants and pray like a piggy book. It can't. Everything can't end like the love scene in Deliverance.
Maybe Ned Beatty and John Voight should have ran at that hillbilly like we did that bear.
That scene has never been described as a love scene until Andy just said that now. That's fucking great.
No, I mean that's a love theme of I don't know, I don't know if you call it love, but it was everybody was turned on. Not everybody.
Most everybody.
At your viewing party?
80%. 80%.
Well, I remember seeing that on an afternoon and going, well, that's the closest thing I think of to my childhood.
I watched
without the rafting.
on when I was a young child. I was on Betamax, so I couldn't have been very old.
Oh wow.
I
That's
watched
early
Molested in
80s.
beta.
I watched the movie I Spit on Your Grave, and
Yeah.
I got a boner and realized right away that I was an asshole. Like, you don't be getting a fucking boner at this, you asshole.
I
And
didn't know that one.
I've not watched any
That's
of the remake
78.
I Spit on Your Graves at all. So
Have anyone seen the Humanoids from the Deep? That was a deeply disturbing movie I went to as a kid. It's basically Jaws if Jaws could get out and rape people on the beach. That was the movie. It was like a fucking B movie, and it was like, go down like the kids in Coquille just go to whatever was there. And Humanoid from the Deep was like, it was basically Jaws with a seafood festival and these monsters that got out and raped men and women. They didn't care. And they still wanted to keep the seafood festival going. And
We're not closing the seafood
No,
festival.
that's how the town makes all the money.
Yeah,
from
that's how
jam.
we're
We
making
can't
all the
close
money.
beaches.
Yeah, but during
You know
a
what that's gonna do to us?
this is not during a pandemic. There's the scene at the end of it, and I haven't seen it. It's a cult classic I've read, but at the end of it, where they just get all rapey, the whole group of them come out of the water and ruin that seafood festival. You try enjoying some clam
Worried
chowder.
about the commerce for the
You
city.
know, yeah. We got the chips and fish and chips, but the seafood monster just raped my fucking wife.
Trying to have a little calamari.
I'm sorry, but this prawn just got aggressive with my lady.
This prawn.
They were like the sleep staff.
Yeah,
And I don't know,
right. It's like
I don't
Creature
know.
from the Black Lagoon, but there was a bunch of them.
And honestly, why hasn't that movie been remade? Because it was fucking really interesting and cool,
Whoa.
But maybe it's too
This
PC.
is like Spit on Your Grave.
That Spit on Your Grave? Yeah.
listen,
Yeah,
I
Tim,
didn't.
you're wrong. You're in a bad place.
I listen. I know.
that look-
I didn't know.
You getting hard
To me,
right
that
now.
looks like
It was, no, I'm not, Andy. God damn it, I've outgrown that. I told you, I'm more self-aware than I used to be.
Is this greasing the burner for you, Paul Bunyan?
Listen. I'm just glad Shaylee's head's blocking most of it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I did that for you, Chad.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
It looks like outtakes from Gilligan's Island.
Listen, I was a
Humanoids
young
from the
child.
Deep make that look like a love story.
Once again, Andy. There
Fuck.
we go. There.
Is that
This is
No.
acceptable.
It's a very rapey movie, and I felt justified. Like, I was like, that's a horrible way to fucking react as a young child to a very rapey movie, and I knew I was wrong, and I chastised myself
You've
accordingly.
probably never seen
And then-
boobs before.
Well, and that's it. It was a sex scene to
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
Hot
I didn't
boob.
know that it was rapey. I was a little kid, but here's the thing.
you thought she
years
gave him
later-
permission?
Years later, when I say years later, it's in the last 10 years. They've made 3 remakes of this motherfucker that I've
Really?
never watched.
Look at this.
I Spit on
remember
Your
this.
Grave. I Spit on Your Grave 2. I Spit on Your Grave 3. Yeah.
Still
they've
spitting.
made-
Still
Look
spit.
at that.
I can't work
If
one
that
out
wasn't-
because my mouth is too dry, but I'll be back in an hour.
That was the
Listen.
one in Daytona. Still spitting. Daytona spring break.
Still smitten. Listen, look at that picture right there. If that wasn't stolen
my God,
directly
that's
from
right.
Deliverance, I don't know what the fuck was.
Yeah.
That's the same
Spit
picture
hard.
you had up of Deliverance earlier.
Yeah, that's
What
a
a
John
bunch of
Voight
bullshit.
thing, basically.
Yeah.
So what's let's see, Shaylee, can you get a Humanoids from the Deep picture? I want to get look at
What's
a
that?
bunch of.
Is that what Andy's
That's-
talking about?
Humanoids from the Deep.
That's what Andy's talking about. Humanoids
Deep.
from the Deep. It's
Yeah.
basically Creature from the Black Lagoon, but there was a bunch of them.
Yeah,
they
and
came
were
up on-
horny. They were
they were
horny. They were
horny.
watching porn. They were watching a lot of porn, and I guess
Well, you're swimming around in the lagoon all the time. It smells like pussy, so
Yeah.
you start to think
yeah,
about it.
It feels like the Humanoids from the Deep tried to use the Ted Bundy defense. We just were real horny down there and needed to breed. I think the movie ended with like some prego going, "Arr!" and then
And yeah, they had a
Yeah.
humanoid baby.
yeah, yeah. You
look
don't
at
want
him.
to.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
yep,
and
she's getting it.
they I guess they had big dicks and they weren't into foreplay. from what I remember.
If you got a big enough dick, you don't need to be.
You don't need to waste.
It's always been the rule.
Yeah, as a young impressionable boy, I remember going, "Oh my God, I hope they're okay or whatever." But you know, yeah. And it seems like, I mean, that's like, there's so many bureaucrats who won't cancel a seafood festival under those circumstances. Like
follow the money, bro.
Yeah. Oh, it'll probably just rape one or two people and it'll go away. No, it raped everybody.
Like a miracle. It'll go away.
You know what? Next seafood festival, nobody's even going to be able to eat it without crying. You want some crabs?
No. Shaley, put that picture back when it was before because it made it look like Erickson was Godzilla. That was fantastic. That's perfect.
Oh,
look
really?
at
I'm above that.
I don't know if it shows up the same on everybody's screen, but
we're in different order.
Your sleeves go perfectly down into Godzilla on my screen. It's great.
I wish I could see that.
Perfect. How do I take a shot of that? Let's see.
It's in the lower corner.
Take a snapshot right there.
Is that Godzilla or humanoid? Is that a humanoid movie trailer or a poster?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude. I'm drunk as shit. This is fun.
Yeah. I mean, I would really, I've always thought there was like a few things that I just had buried in my head, but I always thought humanoids from the deep should have been bigger. Should have been something, because I think everybody, when they're at a seafood festival, that's what they worry about. Is like the fucking seafood coming out and raping the family.
Well, for the record, whenever I watched I Spit on Your Grave, I did not get a boner. I was concerned for her safety, like Andy said. That's what he said. I was.
He only jacked off. He only jacked off so he could concentrate.
I didn't even know. I wouldn't even know what jacking off was for fucking 8 more years from the point that I watched I Spit on Your Grave. That's how sexually frustrated I was.
Yeah. I didn't know you can go to camps and get tutored on that. I had a one-on-one coach who taught me about it.
After hearing your stories, Andy, I'm super grateful for my fucking naivety.
Yeah. Turns out, once I got away from coaching, though, I was a natural. I just needed grandma to pass out in a chair. And Lady Chatterley's Lover is I think it's a consensual love movie.
I think that's I definitely think Lady Chatterley's Lover is a good pullback from all of the terrible abuse you went through. And, you're trying to learn about sex and you're trying to learn about feelings and women. And you've been
more love boat than
that's a very soft and nice thing. It's not.
I watched the Emmanuel series on Cinemax.
Oh, Emmanuel was great.
Oh man,
he was so hot.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, when you watch a coming of age story, they should really tell you what to do to wipe your hands off.
When you watch a coming of age story, they should tell you what to do after you've come of age.
Yeah. I thought that was. I was
a sock nearby.
The first time I came, I was like, I've done some serious damage. Because your body, you don't just throw stuff up without it being something wrong with you.
I'm belly sick.
Yes, I'm belly sick, only a little lower. My belly's neighbor's spitting up, and I don't know what to do.
I remember when I was a kid, I was a teenager, and I stayed the night at my grandparents' house. I remember coming out in the middle of the night, and my grandpa and my uncle were awake, watching a movie. And I remember walking out there, and I said, "Is this a good movie?" And my grandpa looked at me and goes, "I think so. Your uncles went to the bathroom 3 times," and it was the first. It was the first time I knew my grandpa had a sense of humor at all. That was the first time he ever cracked a joke with me, and that was it.
And one it took interpretation again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart joke.
Solid
Yeah.
joke. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
over your audience's head a little bit. He's like, working the back of the room.
I felt
Yeah.
I
He's a
actually
nephew's comic.
since I got the joke, I actually felt a lot more of a kinship with my uncle and my grandpa. Like, oh, okay, all right. I'm like with you guys now.
Yeah. The next thing you do is your grandpa's like, "Nah, go get me a beer out of the fridge," and then you open it and you get to take a sip out of it before you hand it to him.
Yeah.
Those are
And
fucking good times, dude.
Next thing you know, he's giving me hand jobs, and I gotta get tracksuits.
Rent you out to other dudes.
Yeah.
Beer was good though.
Yeah. Hey, I like the rum when I was with my fella.
The harder the better, no pun intended.
Yeah. I'll bet your rum is like the most popular of all the alcohols the pedophiles use, because that's like
it was my hard lemonade, but I just
I guess you're right. Maybe now.
He would get me whiskey, but then I think we both discovered whiskey dick around the same time. He was in his 30s. I was like a 12-year-old, but it's like I felt like it was both of our first cases of whiskey dick. He bought the steak dinner. We watched the movie, we hung out, we talked, and then I couldn't. It was a disappointment. So then I started doing rum.
Synchronized whiskey dick, that doesn't work for anybody.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's so many things wrong with that scenario, my friend. You poor fucking
That's why we got to take on another comedy crew.
Yeah. All right, we'll find one. I'm sure there's another podcast out there looking for beefs. Come with somebody.
We got to find somebody in our weight class. That's the hard thing. There's a lot of podcasts out there, but who's in your weight class?
Let's take on
Legion of Skanks is in our weight class.
Well,
and
here's the thing.
If we take on Legion of Skanks, the advantage to that is it could be very good for our career because they're very successful, and we're still starting out. So even if they kick our ass, we're like RC Cola. If we can get involved into the discussion with Pepsi. And Coke,
we're on the page.
We're moving. That's the only thing that matters.
At the risk of being the lone dissenter, once again, I've been watching the Legion of Skanks beefs on Twitter. I side with the Legion of Skanks. I'm on their side every single time.
That's never mattered, Chad. It doesn't matter about the actual beef. It's just that you have beef. That's the thing. You just want to have beef.
No. You have to watch the beefs that are going on because there's logic behind them. It's not. These are not willy-nilly beefs. These are not willy-nilly beefs.
I like those guys.
That's all I want to say.
And here's the thing. It's like, but I look at them like this. I look at them, and I know they're having beefs or whatever, but I look at them like those ladies that did that Wendy's ad back in the day. Where is the beef? And then I ignore it. Like I don't know.
I will say
I can't get involved because I don't even know where to get it.
I only because I'm drunk and this is at the end and can be cut off if it needs to be. But there's one of the dudes that's involved in the beefs. I met personally when we went to Austin, and only reason I didn't beat the living fuck out of him for being a fucking pedantic douchebag is because we were standing on Lulu Monkey's porch. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Hey, listen, Mishka's an acquired taste.
Yeah, he's mostly cat now.
Yeah, where is the beef? Is she still alive?
Yeah.
She's a hottie. Oh, I know. Yeah, she would have been up for that throw mama from the train role, but she was dead. I felt like I was, and I like that lady in the anyway. Yeah, we've gone late, and I'm being ravaged by mosquitoes, and I'm not sure if I'm in late anymore.
We could just keep doing this, but should we keep doing this? Probably we should. But we could, but we're not going to.
We're gonna just we're gonna go off and then do some Molly and
thank you.
Back in 5 hours, and we'll go for 5 hours. All right, I fucked it up. I'm sorry. Yeah, shit. Cut. Cut. To reset.
To the one, everyone.
Okay, we gotta get this one, man. Come on.
Back to one. It doesn't matter. That can be the outro. Oh shit. All right. Thank you, Patreon subscribers. We fucking love you guys. You're the best. We appreciate you being out there. Let us know if you have any thoughts. We actually do read these comments because we give a fuck what you guys think. So if you have comments, make them. We'll read them. We'll respond to them sometimes when we remember to. But we do give a fuck that you're out there, and we do appreciate that you're out there. So cheers to you guys. And you three fuckers, I'm glad to have 3 Neil Cassidys in my life and to be the fucking stupid drug-addled Jack Kerouac of the group. I love you guys. We'll see you all again in a couple days. Later.
Yep. Bye.
Get
All right.